Our male is hungry, however, he has already fed, but he has a sweet tooth. As a result, he is making keto low-carb fudge. He gathers his pot and gets ready, donning his apron to prevent splash damage. He sets his burner to medium heat. He adds a cup of heavy cream to the pot, making sure to get every last bit. He then adds 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, roughly a tablespoon. He then adds 1/3 of a cup of artificial sweetener, in this case erythitrol. He grabs his spatula and begins to stir. This is the time-consuming part. Once the sugar has dissolved, he adds a splash of bourbon, because bourbon makes everything better. Brewing and brewing, ooh. He will stir for 15 minutes. As you see, the consistency is still liquidy. After 15 minutes, it has considerably thickened. Once it has reached this consistency, he turns off his burner and sets it aside to cool. He sets his burner aside and grabs his container. He will line this with parchment paper. After attempting to get the parchment paper well lined, he notices it does not work. So it is time for some origami. After some folding, some measuring and precise analysis, he tries again and fails. Some more paper mache. He cuts the paper to size. And it fits. By this time, the condensed milk has cooled, and the consistency has thickened. He adds a cup of chocolate chips, lilies in this case, which are sugar-free. His 1 cup measuring cup is still dirty. He begins to stir. The heat of the condensed milk will melt the chocolate but not burn it. It's just the right temperature to temper. Once he has this mild consistency, it's ready. He brings back his parchment-lined paper and adds it. He spreads it around very evenly. If he had an offset spatula, this is where he would use it. However, he doesn't. A quick finger taste test, and he approves. He smashes and wobbles in an attempt to get out any air bubbles and even out the fudge. He sets it aside and gathers his walnuts. In this case, he will cut his walnuts into little pieces. Not too small, not too large, but just right. If you prefer to use pecans, feel free. However, he just didn't want to use pecans. Or pecans. Depends on where you're from. He adds into half of the fudge because his sister is allergic to walnuts. Now for the secret ingredient. Flaky sea salt. He sprinkles it liberally on the top, very generously. And pow. Salt. Mother. He puts it in the fridge for at least 2 hours, preferably longer if necessary. When he returns, it is nice and cold. Obviously. He removes it from the container and places it on his cutting board. It's time to chop. Using a kitchen knife, not a serrated knife, he cuts evenly across the middle and into smaller, bite-sized chunks. The fudge is best if left to warm up to room temperature. There it will be nice and smooth. This has been a low-carb keto fudge presentation by Black Tie Kitchen.